Look at this. Wow. Wow, this is what you had up your sleeve. What's up, everybody? We are back. I think this is a week and a day of us consistently being consistent again. But thank you so much for those who still watch after so long of just being away. We have been literally working around the clock on some wonderful things. We'll probably, take you behind the scenes of that when the time comes. So just please stay tuned. Thank you so much for bearing with us. I don't know how much more we can apologize and beg of your mercy. But we are so grateful that you're still rocking with us. So if you are new to the Legacy League, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and like us, and drop a comment telling us where you're from, who you are, your social security number, you know what I'm saying? Any of that information, we want it.
Let's get to the juicy stuff.
The juicy.
So what you guys have been waiting for.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was really hard to edit part one just because
it was a lot of footage.
There was just, we wanted to invite you into this journey and to not make this 40-minute long video.
Documentary.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, well, we'll just divide it up in two.
Mm-hmm.
So you got dropped off at the collective.
Yes.
And you walk in and you're like, whoa.
I walked in looking for my wife and I was like, where's my wife? And I see this pulchritudinous, this absolutely stunning young lady just sitting there, just waiting on all of this hot chocolate.
Yes.
And I was pleasantly surprised. And if you guys know me, if anyone knows me, I am always trying to figure out what Chaz is doing. And for the most part, I'm pretty good at it. It's really not that hard because I'm very observant. Yeah. And I can kind of link things together as time goes on. So I knew there was going to be something at the collective, but I just didn't know what.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. And you walked in and you saw, I was standing right there, and then you saw
Laura.
Balloons.
Yeah. Well, first I saw Laura.
The photographer.
Yeah, she's the photographer.
LO Imagery. We had, in part one, I put her information in the description, and I will do the same because she...
Phenomenal photographer.
Yes, and she'll be getting us pictures soon. So pictures coming soon.
Stay tuned for the photos.
So you saw Laura.
Yes, and then I saw the food, I saw the decorations, and I saw this path of just roses leading up to the table. Because you know how they say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But they didn't say that it was paved in rose petals. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. So I walked in, followed the path to a wonderful meal, salad, chicken Alfredo, and then we had a little bubbly. Yeah. It was non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing. I didn't think
were you expecting all of that?
I wasn't expecting all of that, but I was, because you're the type of person to always go all out with things, like what goes on in your heart and how you share, share your love and appreciation for people. So I knew it was going to be something big, even though I didn't see the money coming out of my bank account.
I had to do lots of things of cover up, create my own Canva account for creating some of the images that you'll see, the quotes that I printed out. I already had a separate Amazon account for one other surprise. I think I forgot what it was, but
that was the Father's Day.
And that's how I was able to order some of the things on Amazon, is because I had my own little separate account. But for the most part, we share everything. We're that's just how we roll.
I don't know now.
Wow.
She changed the password on her phone. Why does she have a password on her phone, you ask? I don't know.
Well, okay, let me just say this. So I so wanted to document the moment that I sent him that digital invitation.
Oh, sure.
And I shared that in part 1, what that was. What did I send, Devin?
Yeah, what'd you send me?
Wow, that digital invitation that I made in Canva, and I wanted to get your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But you were very adamant, like, no, I don't want to. Just tell me what the surprise is.
Just tell me.
And he had pink eye, and so he just wasn't feeling the best. Like, I don't
Then I had to go to Sioux Falls to get a suit, and I'm like, what am I getting a suit for? Are you planning my funeral?
Wow. So I was really surprised, but I was like, okay, I just have to put myself in his shoes. He doesn't want this. And he's like, is this something for our business, what we're working towards, whatever.
Investing in our business. All monies.
Yeah. And so I just was like, well, it's not exactly for our business, but it's like, to me, I told Devin, like, you can't put a price tag on this, and being intentional. Yeah. And it's like
especially, being shut in for so long and not really able to get out and explore. And we come from a place where there's when I say come from a place, Florida, there's so much to do, even with the restrictions that were in place, right? So being here there are not as many places you can go, not a lot of food choices, because I thought we were going to pull up at Culver's, which is my favorite fast food restaurant.
He was like, after he got the invitation, and we were just sitting there talking, the night that I revealed like a glimpse of the surprise to him, he's like, we are not going to. I'm not going to sit at Culver's in a suit. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, you know what, sir? Like, you don't even know. Like, I have been losing sleep over this, because to me, it's like, this just excites me. Like, it just feeds every creative soul or creative part of me. Mm-hmm. And I love just seeing marriages just on fire and, being intentional with one another. So,
And speaking of marriages on fire, I think having this moment allowed us to just take a step back and then just reevaluate, like, where we are. Like, are we still in sync? Are we romanticizing one another? Yeah. Are we doing everything that we need to do to make sure that we're treating each other like we did when we first met? Like, I think that's very important to stop and pause, because inside, like, it was like, man, this is like a reset off. Not a reset, because nothing negative has been happening, but it was just like, man, like, this really puts everything in perspective. We didn't have Abby to worry about. It was just a moment where it was just us. And like, my favorite part was dancing. If anyone knows me, I enjoy dancing. And
me too.
I enjoyed eating too, but I really enjoyed that closeness, and just being able to not have to care about, oh, we got to do this, we need to do that, and it's like, it was just an us moment.
Yeah, I think we had really good just conversation. Like, I love dreaming with you, and like, we did some of that. Mm-hmm. Like, I love when the dreaming and the planning, like, just starts flowing. So we kind of did some of that over supper and our dinner. Comment down below. Do you say
dinner? Do
you say supper, or do you say dinner?
Dinner. Up here, dinner is lunch, and supper is dinner.
Anyway, and then dancing. I made a playlist, so I was a little cheap, and I just made a playlist on YouTube of some favorite songs that just meant something to us. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, because I was asking Devin, kind of like the week leading up to it, of like, I would either sing him a part of like a song that I was like, hey, who sings that? Or he would like play a song, and I was like, oh, who sings that one? And
I had no idea.
Trying to be super discreet. And so I was like, okay, I got to add that one to the playlist. And so, we just had fun, and Devin was like, I'm gonna play a special song. And so we got to, of course, dance, and we'll show you a little footage of the Dancing Baby Mama song.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what it is, watch and you'll get a glimpse. Yeah, so we danced and then it's like we just cleaned up and that was that. So something that I wanted to include in today's video, and I was so sad because it didn't come in time. So the night, so what I did to let him know, like, hey, I'm thinking about you and this is what I did, was I printed off the front cover, the first page, and the second page of this book.
Wait, before we get into that, I'm really trying to get Chaz to start a business where she's helping women who are married and don't know how to show this type of love to their husbands, like, or they're wanting to do something and they don't know what to do. It's like maybe they feel like they've run out of ideas or options. Talk to Chaz, like comment down below, say, hey, start that business, or I would love to talk to you to figure out what I can do for my husband. That's her. You know, ever since I've known Chaz, her passion was relationships, her passion was marriage. Even though she wasn't married, it was just something that she had on her heart, a burden for people. So, hey, I'm pushing her to do that. I think marriages are important. God has ordained marriages to be a picture of His relationship with us, the church. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and open this here.
So I gave Devan this printed out. It was just 3 pages, whatever, for him to get an idea. And just to let you know, I literally, before we shot this, I just had taken the scissors and I opened it. So this is never, he's never seen this, you know, whatever. So the night that I gave him the printed out 3 pages, Devan just looked at it really quickly and then just put it to the side. And I was like, all hurt because I went out of my way to get this printed out. Okay, these 3 pictures to make sure that this was included in the night. A little bit of it was included. Anyway, and then here's what he does, and he's like, "Why do I want to cry?" And I was like,
Not doing
so, okay, here we go. Okay, who thinks? Yeah, right. Blue's Clues. So let's see.
I'm not gonna cry this time.
I guess I didn't. I was not prepared.
I think I'm honestly kind of tired, guys. And that's like a beautiful thing for those of you who don't know, which you probably don't. Yeah. That was like our thing that we would say when we were dating, when we were engaged. Like every note or something that we sent to one another would say a beautiful thing. She even has a frame or something made for me when I came to visit her in Minnesota that says a beautiful thing, because our relationship was truly a beautiful thing. How we met, me living in Florida, her in Minnesota, up to me being able to just move the way that I did. It was a seamless transition. It's truly a beautiful thing. So let me go ahead and open this and see what's going on. And I'm not going to cry.
So just to recap, so what I did was, behind Devan's back, I took...
Behind my back.
Oh my gosh.
The operative word.
I had to type out our 14 messages that we wrote to one another in Christian Mingle. And they were just on little raggedy paper that was folded up, stuck in my journal, because I journaled throughout our dating time. And I threw it in this book and put some pictures with it, old and new. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's
walk down memory lane.
Take a look. Ooh! Established 2014.
Excited to have this and to give this to you, and
this is definitely
super fun.
Definitely a blessing.
Look, you guys. If you guys can see,
that was right when I moved here.
Some of the older pictures.
Comment down below if you want us to read these messages.
Yeah, we will do that. I mean, maybe not all, but just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Pick a couple. I'm really impressed with the quality of this. I do have to say.
Yeah.
I paid a little bit extra for that, just because you don't want these pages to get bad. But anyway, so that was that. So what do you think?
I like it. I'm going to read it tonight. Or as I'm working, because we are cooking up something.
Yes,
and
guys, we've been grinding. I promise.
It's very late night, very early mornings.
Stay with us.
I work a full-time job that's more than full-time, and I do work on other things that we're going to bring to you guys hopefully within the coming weeks.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. Yes. We are super blessed and grateful that God trusts us to preach the message of legacy, right? I think it's important. You were here, you're brought here for a purpose, and we want your legacy to resound within your sphere when the Lord decides to take you home. But anyways, I'm not going to preach. We'll go ahead and close out.
So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. And if you are new, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And the thumbs up, guys. Yep. That matters. That all matters. Mm-hmm. Seriously. But if you're, a returning Legacy League person.
Legacy Leaguer.
Thanks so much for watching. And you guys, we will see you in the next video.
Peace.